Welcome back, travellers.
Guess who's back? Chris is back.
Yeah, we had a little break.
Yeah, we've had a little break, and we've just carried on talking about lager and crisps, really,
and
haven't
then
we?
we thought, we better just start recording again.
So this is part 2
yeah.
of hardcore listing with Chris and Stu and the lovely Charles from lovebeer.co.uk.
Love beer.
Hello.
And hopefully you've listened to part 1. If you haven't, go on iTunes and Acast or YouTube or Twitch and go and have a look.
Yes.
Because it's all up there. And you can look at us trawling through beer, craft beer, whatever you want to call it. Nice beer. That's what we've been drinking, isn't it? Is that like?
I'm going to leave it to the experts.
I think that's probably the best way of,
We've been drinking nice beer and eating a selection of our favourite bar snacks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little bit tipsy. Like,
I'm feeling fine.
I had a little glass of wine as well, didn't I? Before we started. And
wine on beer on wine.
Grape on grain, they call that.
Wine on beer.
Before wine, you'll be fine.
Wine on beer. Sorry, go on.
Go
on, Charles. I'm jumping in on your cipher here.
That was a team effort of shit.
Yeah, that was equally
So remember
shit.
that one, kids.
Yeah.
Next time, before you start drinking, just remember that simple little saying.
Drink responsibly or you'll be muttering bullshit like them pair of pricks.
What's the saying?
Yeah. Right, okay, so we've got Charles is counting down his top 5 can I say craft beers or beers?
Yeah, microbrewery beers.
Microbrewery beers from Kent. And we are
following on from the Phantom London Brewery podcast.
Yeah, which
never got released.
No, that will be a rarity in years to come.
Can you imagine if we release it
on special blue vinyl or something?
Oh, that's a great
to go crazy, and they'll hear there is actually an untold Craig's mate story on there as well, which was pretty crazy.
Yeah,
so you never hear that.
Good
so
shout.
unlucky you guys.
Well, yeah. So we've got 3 left in your top 5 to get through, and a selection
I think it's 2 actually.
Is it?
Yeah, we've done. Yeah, we've drunk 2, haven't we? But there was
drunk 2,
missing one.
And there was that one in the middle, wasn't there?
That's right. And we did have a sort of like road beer, didn't we? While we were going to have a little chat about Charles' background.
Yeah,
but just before that was bloody fantastic.
Yeah.
That was
one
so
that,
good.
I mean, that's
was
like
great.
that's the second place beer from them. So there's a better one coming. Well, I think it's better anyway, but something altogether different, but very well crafted.
Superlative. Well, look, before we do number 4, shall we have a little chat about Charles' background?
Because
is there any other little backup beers we got in there that we can have a little nibble on?
There is actually.
Well,
there's a little bottle in there. Whitstable Bay Oyster Stout.
So I've had this. I have had this. Yeah.
No, it's actually just the
I'm getting annoyed with you and frickin' oysters, making out you're some kind of fucking oyster expert. You're not. All right?
Whoa!
It gets on my nerves.
I think you're getting upset because your dad used to work on the docks and he never brought you any oysters back.
Sex workers don't get oysters.
No, they don't. Well, no.
They get crabs.
Sometimes. Yeah. I like that. Put on a t-shirt.
Thanks, man. Okay,
sorry,
so
back to you,
that's
pal.
all right. Yeah.
Right, well, this is oyster stat, so you might as well not talk about this. Chris can talk about this because he knows everything about oysters because he's a fucking expert.
I mean, you know about this one. No, I haven't had this one.
Right.
Okay.
Over to you, Josh.
That was easy.
Right, are we going to talk about the beer or are we going to talk about you?
We're going to have a little... We're going to just drink this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We can give it a quick intro if you want, Charles, and then we'll have a little chat about...
So this is Whitstable Brewery.
Right.
If you just want good traditional beer, they're good for that. They're I had a bit of almost got into an argument with a bloke about whether or not beers are vegan if they use fish guts in it. And I was like, well, obviously. Wow. And he was like, well, there's actually none in the beer. And I was like, I'm going to leave this before I start shouting at you. Get my militant vegetarian tendencies out. And, So I've not tried this before, so I don't know what it's going to be like.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting. Oh, you guys haven't. You guys aren't ready for it. And I've
Oh,
not
right,
waited.
so obviously you can't try this one, can you?
It's called an oyster stout because it's for drinking with oysters.
With?
Traditionally, you'd have something like a stout, and it's got like I think it's got a blurb on the back of it. You like a blurb?
That's fucking
I
brilliant,
love a
mate.
blurb. Right, I'm going to read it.
That is brilliant.
A classic stout with deep chocolate and mocha flavours.
Oh.
This rich, velvety and wonderfully drinkable beer is the perfect accompaniment to roast beef, oysters and game. That sold me and I haven't even drunk it.
I'm not joking. That's heaven.
Do you mind? I haven't finished. You're proper getting on my fucking nerves.
I can tell. You're wearing a bloody Limp Biscuit hat. You're getting all Fred Durst on me.
This beer.
It's just one of those days. Sorry.
Right, can I just keep rolling?
Go on. Oh, clever.
This beer's long and glorious heritage dates back to the 18th century when a glass of stout and a plate of Whitstable oysters become a pairing of choice for millions of thirsty Britons. I want to do what you done, obviously 10 times. I want to go to Whitstable and have oysters with this.
Hey, so I'll tell you what. Take Carol down there, get a what they call a fisherman's hut for the night, which is a nice little cottage hut on the bay, overlooking the sea. Brownie points, mate. You're gonna get some brownie points on that.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
I would say they're not based anywhere near Whitstable. they're like in Grafty Green, which is a bit of like it's
in
near
Kent
Lenham.
though, isn't it?
It is in Kent, yeah, but it's a bit of a walk to the beach from there.
Well, you can find out about them at www.whitstablebrewery.co.uk. Or ideally, if you want to know more about any of these beers, add lovebeer.co.uk on Instagram and Twitter and
Facebook. We're all Love Beer UK on all social media. I've got an Untapped. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like a beer lovers app that you can follow each other on. And
Nice.
Because I'm tasting beers all the time, I'm uploading them.
If you can't find it, check all of our social media because we tag Charles in lots of
me a lot,
things
yeah.
and we share his bits and pieces. And so
We don't share his bits and pieces on Instagram.
Share
Not in
my
that way.
posts.
Your posts.
Those photos
wanna
are for
make- just wanna
private.
make
I
that
need to
clear.
try this, but I've got that one in there.
Just grab another glass up there, mate. That was supposed to be a road beer, and it's accidentally.
I know.
Become the main bit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an unexpected pleasure. That. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that, Charles.
Well, I'm going to wait for Stu to pour his, and then we'll have a.
I'm gonna.
Save me. Let me have a little bit more.
Oh, sorry, dude. I thought you poured yourself.
Oh, for fuck's sake. So unfair.
This
That's all right. I had a big old gulp first time, so I'm not gonna cry. It's the first
Oh,
world
that is
problem.
chocolate.
Eh? Oh, that is chocolate.
That's amazing.
That's quite good, actually. It's not like the strongest stout. It's nice and chilled.
I'll tell you
isn't it?
what.
That's proper.
I've got a mate. My mate Archie loves a stout. He will love that.
It's
He will love
better than
that.
Guinness, isn't it?
That's a different level to Guinness.
But the thing with stouts is they can quite often be. There's one by that saison that I almost bought. It's a 7.4 smoked stout, and it's just too much. I'm gonna have it when I get back because it's a lovely like finish to the day. But
Yeah.
I don't think you guys would enjoy it because it's just so strong.
Yeah.
Whereas that's quite a nice mild drinker, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that went in a couple of sweets
Yeah.
because it was just too tasty.
With roast beef, that would be amazing.
Let me tell you how good that would be with oysters. If you had 10 oysters.
10? How many? See,
No,
all right,
I'm
okay,
joking,
right.
I'm
So you've
joking.
had oysters, right? So break it down. When you have oysters, like, is it like chips? Do you have like 30?
No, that's silly. You're a silly boy.
All
aren't
right.
you?
So is it like a sandwich? You have like 2.
And you don't have any bread.
Break
I'm
it
not
down.
taking you out ever.
Just imagine him at the
It's just-
seafood store going, how do I have
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
In between 2 bits of bread?
30 or 2. Make a decision. How many oysters do you have when you have oysters?
You know, you can have just one, between or 3 or up to 6.
You've
don't-
got a
you wouldn't have
nervous
more than
tone in your
6.
voice, like you don't know what you're talking about.
3 or 6.
Are they the rules?
Don't try and
3 or
put
6.
try to sweat me. I'm
How
gonna
many
get
oysters?
sweat over fucking oysters.
When you had your make believe oysters, how many did you have?
When I the first time we had probably about 3 each,
Right.
and you normally have what? Normally they get served in about
Right,
3.
and I know that everyone says they're a bit jizzy. Not that. No, they do. I don't. Not that I've ever eaten jizz.
Cool. That was tense.
No, but you see people kind of...
Intentionally.
Like, all I've ever seen is people with the shells kind of and neck it and go, oh, that was like jizzy.
Aren't they still alive? I thought in the shells they're
don't-
still
What?
alive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because if they're in, I'm getting confusing muscles now, but potentially.
I thought they were. Yeah, I thought they were like kept on ice and.
That's lobsters.
No, you definitely boil lobster.
Yeah. Yeah, but you pull them out the tank and you pick your
but
one, don't you?
When it's served on ice.
Yeah.
It's meant to be kept chilled. I'm pretty sure they're still alive when you.
Yeah,
No, this is the thing. I've seen the little kind of tray that they bring out, and there's ice, and there's loads of.
That's milk tray. You're thinking of
No,
milk tray.
no. How many are on a
tray.
Can I have a portion of oysters, please, Chris? Sure. How many will I get in my portion?
If I was serving you, I'd serve you up to 3. But I've had 6.
I reckon if I got given a plate full of like 6 oysters, I might be a bit daunted by that.
Do they fill you up? That's what I want to know. Like, what is there
Not
to
really,
eat?
Not really. They don't. That's why 6.
Is it like a prawn?
It is like it doesn't have. I mean, prawns are quite subtle flavour, right?
What are the things that you
This
a
is
scallop?
a episode about
a
beer.
scallop.
It's a similar, like almost that level of flavour to a scallop, where dressing it brings out the flavour of that. So yeah, it's very similar to that, mate. And yeah, it has got a strange consistency. A little again, like people say, squid or calamari's got a strange consistency. It's not the same consistency, but it's an unfamiliar one. Does it taste like spunk? I've had loads of spunk. It's not like spunk. Well, it's not like my dad's spunk.
No.
That's all I can say.
When I bought this oyster stout, I didn't expect it to go this way.
Look at you. You was the most professional one here then. Well, when I bought this, moving swiftly on from Chrissy's dad's spunk.
This conversation is going wrong. I'm sorry, Charles.
I'm hitting eject on that one.
Oh dear.
Back to where we was at. Charles,
hell.
come on, man. You're
We're
controlling
doing a
this
hashtag
conversation now.
Oystergate on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, anyway.
I'm going to open that door.
Shall we
It's got a bit
restart
more.
this half?
Keep rolling, and that's not a Fred Durst joke. Right, okay. So we've had our little classic. Right, so I'll tell you what. I've been threatening to do it for ages. I met you because you listened to the Drunkcast.
It was just as I started Love Beer, actually.
Yeah.
It was literally like my first couple of months, I think.
And you hit me up and you went, I'd be interested in doing something with you guys. And I said, well, we haven't got any money and we're just having
I
some
haven't
fun.
got any money.
And you said, I haven't got any money. I'm trying to set my business up. And I went, well, if you give us some beer, we'll talk about you on the Drunkcast and spread all your stuff on social media. And you was kind and said yes. And then you come to the Whiffin and you bought us the bar setup, which was
Beer
amazing.
Monster.
And it's a bit of a feature, isn't it? It's like it's a big talking point, and when you come round, although your name is Charles, I called you Charlie a lot,
Yeah.
and kept apologising, but quite quickly, I don't know what your thoughts were on us, but I just thought nice guy, yeah. I think that's safe to say. You know, you like,
Yeah.
I like people that kind of buck the norm. And I'm very much the norm, but I like seeing people that
I
buck
don't know,
it.
mate. You're an events promoter.
I wouldn't say you're...
Dick's about doing podcasts
No,
in
I
his
wouldn't
shed. That's
say
very
you're
much
I
not
wouldn't
the
say
norm.
you're- I wouldn't say you're normal at
No,
all.
but you know, compared to your lifestyle, pretty much.
I don't know. I'd say it's two sides of the same coin.
Okay.
I mean, we're not like chuntering Daily Mail readers, are we?
No, we're
Which,
not. No,
is the
He's
different
not,
side
though.
of life.
He's not, though, because he can't read.
Well, that's the sun then, isn't it? If you can't read.
Oh
It's all
God!
pictures.
Do you know what? I would not buy that. I would not buy that. And I read something today on social media that one of my friends put up. I just see my biggest hero today. He walked in because I don't know what scandalous. I won't bore you because it'll be date sensitive, and this probably won't be coming out for a couple of weeks. But some atrocities have happened in England recently. And I think the Sun put some vile, salacious, kind of shitty headline.
Actually, Manchester are thinking of R.I.P. Manchester.
Yeah.
But anyway, Manchester are genuinely considering banning the sun after that.
Yeah.
Which is the
Absolutely.
second city.
I haven't
in
seen the
in
headline,
the
but
UK.
fucking good on them. And
Yeah.
fuck the sun.
And this guy walked in and said, "Oh, have you got any copies of the Sun?" I mean, yeah, we got loads. I mean, I called him, bought the lots, put them in the bin.
Really?
I thought, yeah, good guy.
Nice.
Sweet.
But where was I going with that?
You're two sides of the same coin. You're both.
We're not Daily Mail readers.
Daily
No,
Mail,
we're
yeah,
not.
yeah,
We're not Daily Mail readers. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your upbringing, because last time you told us.
Well, wait, do you want me to start?
I want to know about your. Obviously, you had the best nickname growing up. That
Yeah,
was
well,
probably...
you coined it.
Yeah. Did we? I can't remember.
Yeah. I mean, people were just taking the piss out of me. I didn't have a label until you brought it in.
Until two Essex boys you'd only met for fucking an hour started going, what was it, Smelly Wood Kiss?
Yeah.
What is it, Smoky Wood Boy?
Yeah. I mean, I almost put that as my nickname on Facebook for a little bit, but I thought it's going to look a bit odd if I put it up out of context.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So you was brought up.
Yeah.
Where?
My mum. I mean, I guess it's like a proper version of the good life, but my mum and dad have always been like organic. They hate the word hippie. It's not a good word in our house. They'd say like hippie is more a fashion trend. Like what we do is much more like an organic lifestyle. So where we are in Kent, we bought the house we were in when I was 3. It had no electricity or plumbing or anything like that, and we lived in a caravan in the back garden for the best part of the year while we got the house just about livable. And I mean, this was in a time where it wasn't trendy. Now, like Grand Designs has popularised this idea of moving into a house and living in a shithole for years and years until you actually get it habitable. But back then, it was not the done thing. But now we've got like a really awesome house, and we grow all of our own vegetables, or a lot of our own vegetables during the summer. But the Smelly Wood Kid came about because throughout the whole, we don't have any central heating, or for a long time we never had any central heating. So it's all of our clothes were dried on wood fires, or it's all wood fires in the house. Most of them were leaky wood fires as well. And so I used to get picked on loads because all of my clothes smelled of wood all the time.
Yeah.
And then you picked it up and gave me a complex for the last couple of months.
Hashtag Smelly Wood Kid.
What I found fascinating about that though, mate, is even if people did give you shit about it, like one of the things I noticed about you is how you're quite gregarious and confident. Actually, that's how you come across, and you're very passionate.
No, definitely not. I am racked with insecurities all the time, like on a regular basis. I just have learnt to act like I'm cocksure.
Cocksure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair dues. I mean,
You're not
I
alone
like
there.
that.
I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
And that's what
I
I
am.
realise. It's just half the battle, isn't it? Like if you pretend you're confident, then people assume you are.
Absolutely.
It doesn't-
Yeah.
They don't know that.
It's
I go home
very
and
true.
cry every night.
I mean, the minute we stop recording, me and Chris just hold each other and cry.
Yeah, we do, mate. Well, that's crazy.
So,
But it's very weird now. Like, it's only been in the last few years. I mean, even when I was at art college, the lifestyle we had was still a bit weird.
Yeah.
And it's only been in the last few years that people have been like, "Oh, you're a massive hippie. That's cool." Whereas before, it was never that was not.
But
my lifestyle was not desirable up until about 3 or 4 years ago. And
See,
it's very weird for me.
Yeah.
see, it's very desirable to me, and that's not
Yeah.
me. Just watched a couple of episodes of Grand Designs. Like, working where I worked for a long time, there was a contingent of people that worked there that had built their own kind of community in a forest, and it was incredible, and they were affectionately known as like Krusties. And who was the activist?
I mean, a lot of the
who was the
family friends
activist? The
would be-
famous activist. And one of them, my friend Seth, was officially known by the door staff that worked at the club at the time as Swampy.
Sounds like you know a lot of my family.
Yeah, but however, like, I just thought you're kind of self-sufficient living in the forest, and as much as I like to go and swim in lakes and climb mountains and stuff like that, like, I would love that. I would love that. And
It's not as fun as it sounds.
no, and
it's
it's
a lot of work. You know, we all of our logs. We do about 7 tons of logs a year.
It's really weird you say this, right? Because Brad, who's filming this, was with me, and the last time we went to the Lake District, I believe, while swimming, we found a B&B, just literally driving through the mountains, really, just thinking, right, we need somewhere to stay tonight. Let's just try and get a phone signal and find somewhere we can stay. And we found this place, and this guy come to the door, and he was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, you know, 4 of you can stay here. And it was as camp as Christmas, I think it's safe to say.
Lovely guy.
And he was smashing, and he had a very, very well-spoken West London accent.
Yeah.
And I just thought, okay, we are on a very isolated kind of farm house in the Lake District, and we are staying with a very camp, very posh Londoner. And he was lovely, and that evening he said, where are you going tonight? We said, we just want to go and find somewhere to eat and have a drink. And he said, I'll run you down the pub. And we went down the pub, and he had a drink with the locals, and he drove us back. And then when we got back, he was like, right, you know, I'll get the fire going. Do you guys, like, you know, want to have some more wine? I'll bring you some food out. And we were just sitting in his front room around this log fire, just kind of eating cheese and crackers and stuff and drinking wine. It was absolutely idyllic.
Yeah.
And I got into him a little bit, and I said, like, look, I've got to ask, you don't strike me as a local. And he said, no, I'm not. And he said, basically, he went, you know, I'll tell you what I'd done. And he pulled out a copy of, was it Country Life magazine or something like that? And he was on the cover. And I was like, oh, right, wow. And
just happens to have it in every drawer of the house.
Yeah. No, do you know what? He was not like that. He was very, very humble, and he wouldn't have mentioned anything had we not have drilled him down.
I know.
And it turns out he'd worked for the royal family all of his life, and he was Princess Anne's, one of her closest people that worked with the horses, and he was a horse whisperer, was part of his kind of thing. And he travelled the whole world working with the horses and the Olympic team and stuff like that. And so by now, we're just kind of like, wow, this is
crazy.
Pretty crazy story. And you was there, wasn't you, Brad?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he went, yeah. And I said, so how did you end up here? He said, like, well, basically, like, I was on a plane going to America to do something with, like, the Olympic team, and the Free In-Flight magazine was selling property at the back, and I just thought, that's it. He said, I come from a house where I had cleaners, a butler, and he said, I just thought, I'm done. And he bought this house that had a big septic tank, was it?
Has this got one of them?
And it was pretty bleak what he bought. And he said, and I just thought, right, I'm going to move to the country. I had no experience of it, didn't know what he was getting himself into. And it was like, fuck. And I said, like, and to me, I just thought, right, villages are cliquey, and you've got a very posh, very camp gay man moving into a village that might be, I don't know how understanding and liberal these areas are. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I thought, wow, that's a brave move. And he was like, yeah, and quite quickly I realised we'd fucked up. And I moved my mum in because my mum was elderly and she was still there, and I presume he was with his partner. We didn't get to see his partner, did we? And he went, yeah. I said, so what have you done? He said, well, I realised to integrate into the community, everyone has to work with each other, and you have to bring your thing to the table. And he said, like, so blah 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 over there. He fixes my fences. and blah blah blah. He mows all the lawns everywhere, and this person does that. And I said, what do you do? He said, well, I didn't do anything, and I had to learn to do something quickly. And he used his kind of horse-based background and whispering techniques, and he's a shepherd. And so all he does now is he takes his dogs out and he trains the dogs, right as he trained his horses. He trains his dogs now to kind of like herd all the sheep on the mountains. And he spends every day out on the mountains on his own dealing with the sheep.
It takes someone very
And like,
very intelligent and very adaptable to be able to pull that off, though.
yeah.
Because I think, and myself included, I live like half of that life now, but like, I think if I parachuted into somewhere that I don't know with no support, I wouldn't last long at all.
Yeah.
I'd get pretty sick without Facebook or something.
It was quite weird because we was 4 drunk lads that were having a weekend away, swimming and drinking beer, and we sat in his front room, literally like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, you know, this guy was almost royalty, do you know what I mean? And had the most privileged of life, and just went, I'm done. I'm done. I want to keep it real, and he did, and you know, lives a very lovely life now, just in the mountains. You know, dealing with being a shepherd.
That's very, very remote, though, isn't it? Those that village lifestyle like that.
Well, he said, like,
there's nothing like that around here.
Because I said to him, "What happens when it snows?" He went, "Yeah, we're fucked."
Yeah.
He said, like, we have to have enough stuff here because you won't see us for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's no in or out.
How's that for you? Snow and stuff like that, or was you?
We're like a mile away from a main road that gets gritted, so we've got 3 Land Rovers in the family that is complete overkill. But
You're right to get a Costa, aren't you?
no, what are you on about, mate? Oh, actually, the village.
You got an espresso machine though, so
No, the village shop does have one of those. I've got my foot caught in you.
I've had that, mate.
The local shop does have one of those little Costa Expresses,
Right.
that you can go and get it made up. We've got a little cafe up there. I mean, we're a mile away from our nearest shop, which may seem far, may not, but we're rural enough to be like proper country folk, but we're not too far away if we want to get in. 5 miles away from Maidstone, so it's not the end of the world. I used to cycle a lot, so I used to cycle into town to get responsibly drunk and cycle back out at the end of the night.
Well, you said you produce like 7 tons of wood a year. How's that?
We order it in, and then we've got recently where me and my brother got lazier and
other jobs.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I was going to make that point actually. If you want to live that lifestyle properly, you need to have some sort of savings that mean that you don't have to work, because it takes a hell of a lot of work. It's a full-time job looking after something like that. But so we've got a machine, like we've borrowed it off one of my dad's mates. We've got a machine.
It's like a wood processor or something like that.
I mean, it still takes, you can still be doing it for 2 or 3 days, but we do with 7 tons of logs a year, keeping the thing. I mean, it would help, like if there was some sort of government grant to rip everything out and insulate it or something, we'd be a hell of a lot more efficient. But as it is, I think half of your wood probably gets burnt and the heat goes straight out the top. And like my room is the coldest room in the world during winter, and the hottest room in the world during summer.
So that makes you quite tough in that sense, doesn't it? Because I'm a bit fussy when it comes to sleeping. I need it just right, you know.
I've learned to fall asleep pretty much anywhere, but as soon as it gets cold outside, I'm the first one with a blanket on.
Oh, okay.
Would you change anything about your upbringing?
If you'd asked me that when I was 16, yeah, pretty much all of it. But I think
of course.
Now you sort of mellow into it a bit.
Do you think obviously it's made you what you are now?
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
So you wouldn't change that? You're obviously very comfortable in yourself now.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't want to. But if you asked me that when I was 16...
Yeah, but when you're 14, 15, 16, you just want to be one of the cool guys. You don't want to be the in-betweener, and you don't want to be the nerd. And if you're Smoky Wood Boy, you know... you are, you know, you're going to be a target because
definitely.
That's what
because
kids
also,
are like.
Even that, like you said, like the word hippie has got such negative connotations to it, and it's a shame. And I think a large part of the negative connotation towards hippie is because it's renouncing the things that people can earn money out of, right? Why would it be? Why would a consumer culture, which we live in and have for the last 20 years, want to make hippies be cool.
Yeah.
Why would there ever be anything close to that, a positive
It's
connotation?
never going to get good press, is it?
It wouldn't be because you're not making any money out of
Yeah,
someone
of
who wants
course.
to be autonomous
Yeah.
and not, destroy the environment at the
Yeah.
same time. I think there's a lot to do with that when it comes to hippies.
I very much rebelled massively against my upbringing. When I got to about 11, it was like the absolute opposite of anything that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And my parents never really pushed it on me either. And I then became a massive hippie through getting into hardcore anarcho-punk. And that's all like, they're all vegans and they're all anti-establishment and all that sort of thing. And then I got a couple of years. I went
How
to
old
art
was you when
college
that was happening? How old was you when you
End of
kind
college, that was about, end of school, so that was about 16. And then all through the 2 years I failed at college, I was really into my punk music. And then
hardcore as in hardcore rave or as in hardcore punk?
hardcore punk.
Right.
Yeah, anarcho-punk, like people like Crass or Oi Polloi, Conflict, like proper, I mean, I think one of Crass's first charity gigs, it was an anti-racism gig and all the money was supposed to go to charity and they tried to refuse their paycheck at the end of it. They were just doing it because they wanted to be there. And the corporation wouldn't take their money, so they set up their own stuff and like proper grassroots stuff.
I think he's an Essex boy.
He may well be actually. Yeah,
he is.
I can't remember his name. Steve Ignorant.
No, that's not his name. The Crass. Yeah, his name is. It's not Steve. I will check, but he's an Essex boy.
Okay. I wouldn't. He's definitely got that twang about him. He's a good shout.
I don't know if he is now. Sorry, if he was then, but he definitely is. He definitely is now.
It was very much art college that sort of changed me from a black-wearing hardcore punk into a flowery graphic designer. And but I mean, it was more just get rid of the pretense, and I was just wearing what I wanted to, and quite happy with it.
I'm sorry, I'm not being rude. I'm just trying to find out what.
I want to know as well.
Just texting.
Just
texting your missus.
It's driving me up the.
What made that transition between the hardcore to the sort of like?
I mean, I still listen to it. Don't get me wrong. I've still got a playlist.
Penny Rimbaud.
That's the poet from it. And this, I swear, the guy that sings it is Steve Ignorant.
Oh right, yeah.
The actual
Penny
vocalist,
lives in Essex. I'm sure he lives over sort of the arse end of Chelmsford or somewhere like that. I might be wrong.
It wouldn't surprise me. All I know is that he's a really good poet. If you want to find, I'm not even into poetry, but he's some of the few stuff.
There's probably Crass fans wanting to kill me now, but I believe Penny was like the kind of the main man.
100%. Yeah, he was the vocalist, and I mean, they all shared the ethics, but he put it into words, and then Steve Ignorant shouted it with, I think his name's Eva, but really into it, really into it. Still, I've got a mate, Jingleton, and every now and then if we do meet up, we put it on, and there's like a couple of songs that we'll just sit there and like you're 16 again, like
amazing.
But
that's a cool thing because how old are you now?
27.
Then, I mean, let's have it right. So you was what 18? When was your art college? 18. So when was that? 19.
Went to art college when I was 18. Yeah.
Which was what?
2008.
How many kids were listening to Crass in 2008?
Well, actually, Maidstone's got a weird little pocket of punk in it. And there was quite a lot in that.
But that's but
I mean, there was still only 5 of us, but there was.
But the thing is, like, a lot of kids at that point that were into, in inverted commas, punk were like, we love Green Day.
Yeah,
and
like 182. That's punk, isn't it?
Yeah, and we like the Sex Pistols, but like, you could even drill that down into your kind of, whether you want to say the Jam, the Undertones, Buzzcocks, etc. But Crass is.
It's pretty out there.
It's pretty,
There's Oi Polloi are even more out there. I mean, they're like, I forgot what it's called. I think it's called like crust punk or something like that. But I mean, it's proper. If after it, I'll see if I've got some on my phone. But I mean, it is like, and it's great. And the thing is, like, you'll listen to him screaming, and they'll all chat with you after the gig, like, and they'll be on stage. There's people bowling around, metal on their shirts, like people getting accidental nosebleeds and stuff. And you speak to them afterwards, and they're just like, they're Scottish, and they're just like, oh yeah, how you doing, man? Oh yeah, I'm just a gentle vegan, and just complete world apart.
Yeah,
and such a nice community to be in at that age as well.
Do you think that kind of music got you at that point? Because do you think you had like a bit of pent up anger of your upbringing and pent
yeah,
up,
almost,
like, you know, I know
yeah.
it's a cliche, but like, you know, do you think that was the case?
I think when
you
I was
know?
16, I was very angry. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you know,
definitely.
in my previous podcast, you said like when Rage Against the Machine dropped, it got you at the right time, and you said just talking about it, you could feel, you know, it made you want to do something when you heard it.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
It also gives you that outlet. I think more than anything.
Well, see, where do you think that? Sorry, I cut you off. Then what was you going to say?
No, it's just that. I think it just gives you an outlet. It gave me a bit of direction, and it's still something that all of the ideal. It wasn't fly by night. You know, a lot of my mates stopped being vegetarian and have. One of them's an accountant. You know?
Yeah.
And it just
For McDonald's.
It stuck with me. Yeah, I don't know, maybe, but it definitely resonated. With me.
I think as much as, you know, you all move on and you all kind of give an inch, you know, and you mellow as you get older, I think it's safe to say. But I do think you make a bit of a decision, I think, that might not be a conscious decision when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, when you kind of surround yourself with your friends that you kind of gravitate towards, and the music you listen to and the films that you watch and the clubs and the way you choose to socialise, where I think you kind of set out your path, and I think you don't ever stray that far from it. I think there's definitely a certain part at that point where you kind of realise roughly who you are through probably a catastrophe of nightmares and drunken nights and falling out with people and you know and odd girlfriends and boyfriends, etc. But I think it does kind of set you up, and you I don't know, maybe I've had a few too many drinks already, but I think
it does point your personality in certain directions, doesn't it? And you might go through different phases, but there is a core to aspects of your personality that you always have as a thing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, it's around that sort of age as well that a lot of people stopped going to gigs and, you know, stop being vegetarian and stop seeing the, you know, I'm still an angry political poster on Facebook. A lot of the people that I used to be doing that with not doing that anymore, you know, and it was around that sort of age that shift happened, and I sort of gravitated and went off. I mean, I'm a real social butterfly. I've got loads of friend groups, but nobody particularly close. But I just constantly shift around.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
I think it's nicer to be
Except
like
for I have to shift around because nobody likes me.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, they can't stand me after a few weeks. So.
No, you. I don't think you've got anyone that will go like, oh yeah, Chris, he's pucker.
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
I wondered where that was going, and I thought he was disagreeing with you.
No,
He's been nice to me once on all of these.
I think like
One episode he said a nice thing about me.
I got all excited to phone up Pip yesterday because, which I can talk about now because I think we're going to probably put that out ahead of this. But we had Brett Goldstein come round on 2 nights ago to record a podcast, and he mentioned, I think it's safe to say we can say what his top 5 subject is going to be. He done last lines in films,
Right.
and he mentioned one film, and you got all excited and started quoting it.
Yeah.
Completely wrong film.
And then.
Let me say this.
go on then, yeah.
Let me say,
yeah,
because
go
you
on.
will dumb it down.
Yeah, okay.
You will dumb it down, and it was one of the most amazing things you've ever said. So we got speaking about other films that we really enjoyed, and Brett said, I think a great film is Sexy Beast, and which is a great film. And I said, yes, I think it was a game-changing performance for Ray Winston. And Chris went, I totally agree. I think it was one of the best performances from...
Say that.
your exact words were something along the lines of like, and yeah, well, not just Ray Winston, Ken Livingstone was amazing in it. Ken fucking Livingstone. And I went, huh? And I went, Ken Livingstone? And you went, yeah. And I went, okay, like, do you mean Ben Kingsley? And you went, you looked a little bit sheepish, obviously, while we was just roaring at your stupidity. And then
I'm terrible.
And then you went, they roll off the tongue the same way.
I've done it my whole life.
Still saying it.
I've done it my whole life with names. I just Ben, Ken. That's it. Livingston, Kingsley. They
So,
unfortunately.
whoa. Saying it quickly. Livingston, Kingsley.
Livingston, Kingsley. It's only two.
No. 3 syllables, 2 syllables.
Right, okay.
That doesn't work.
I've done it for ages. I always give them a little switch.
I'm really bad with names, but I just get them. It's not. I mean, people. It took me about 3 times to get yours.
Well, that's all right. I called you Charlie for about 2 weeks.
But no, I mean, like and it's really bad doing festivals year after year because like people remember me. I'm a Malby posh kid, so I stick in their minds, and they'll be like, "Hey, dude, like, I remember you, but I don't know your name."
There's only so many. How many do you reckon? Because doing what I do, working on the front of nightclubs, you meet hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people over the years, and because there's only maybe 10 people that generally fluctuate around that front part of the club, they kind of know names. So people go, "Hey, it's Stu," and I'm like, "Oh, mate." They're like, "Yeah, how's it all going? Yeah, not bad, mate." And how many mates do you reckon you can get in before it's just fucking rude?
Yeah.
My cousin, you have to nip it in the bud and just say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I've forgotten your name."
I'll do that.
What is your name? It's just better to do that than to rip that plaster off. Don't drag it out. And also, the longer you leave it, the worse it gets.
My cousin says buddy all the time. "You're right, buddy. How you doing, buddy?"
Yeah.
And he can have full-blown conversations, and all he's called them is buddy.
Yeah, buddy, pal, and
and
mate.
just go, "Don't know who that was."
Yeah.
Never seen him in
get
life.
away with it. Shameless. Absolutely shameless. But he's so well practiced at it. He doesn't flinch.
Well, we've just drilled into Smoky Wood Boys' background.
Yeah.
And
I've actually got a smoky beer coming up. But,
let's do it. Should we do it?
We'll do the one before it.
Okay.
I don't know, I can't remember what bottles it is.
Oh, that's the one that we pulled out. The one we pulled out earlier.
It's stirred it all up with the sediment now.
Oh, Stuart.
So, are we going for that one?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. So these guys are a brand new brewery.
It's got a brilliant label.
Yeah. It's what attracted me to them. They're actually...
Oh, sorry, if you're not watching this, I'm being quite rude.
Okay.
It's got a monkey playing a double bass, and it's called
Panama Jazz. It's by a brewery called Angels and Demons. It's a red India Pale Ale. I normally don't like red beers, so I saved this till last night, and it was really tasty.
You've got the best job ever.
It's fun, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, last night, genuinely, it was. My mate came round earlier, and I was like, and I said, "Oh, I was up late last night sampling all the beers for the hardcore." And he's like, "You realise you can just spit them out like wine?" I was like, "Fuck." But yeah, I generally I'm not a massive fan of red beers at all, and this one was a pleasant surprise.
Did you say a red beer?
Yeah, it's not red, but if you hold it up to the light, it will be a bit like.
It's got a little black cherry sort of. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I do like it. I do like these.
Little splodge there.
Thank you.
Yes, these guys actually set up their brewery about the same time I set up Love Beer, so they're really really new, a few months old. There's actually 2 breweries though. These guys, they're based Sandwich or something like that.
I'll tell you where they're based.
Capel.
Coldham Farm, Coldham Lane, Capel, Laferne.
Yeah, it's near Sandwich.
Folkestone, Kent.
Yeah. But anyway, they have 2 breweries there, or 2 bits of branding. They've got Angels and Demons, and they've cheers. That was a good.
That was, wasn't it?
They've got the interestingly named McCann's Brewery.
McCann's.
Yeah.
Dear, oh dear.
It was an interesting decision, I've got to be honest. But yeah, the McCanns basically do more traditional beers. These ones are like the more American hoppy style craft beers. You enjoying that?
It's lovely.
It is nice, isn't it? This, as I say, normally red ales are pretty terrible, and they're normally not got a lot of flavour into them. They're kind of like a more jazzed up bitter. I had this last night, and that went straight on the list.
So, shall I read the blurb on the bottle?
Yeah, do it. Yeah.
Read away, show off.
Just because someone
Your
can
reading
read.
skills.
Do you want to do it?
No.
Yeah, let the
I'll
master do it.
probably fumble.
At the back of the club, the monkey slaps the strings with howling tenacity. Every stroke hits a fresh chord. As he finishes, you realise life isn't so bad after all. Packed with vibrancy and flavour, every mouthful is a new experience. Our red IPA is best enjoyed chilled with cured meats or grilled mozzarella burgers and strong hard cheeses. It may contain sediment, pour with care. How fucking good is that?
I love those serving suggestions.
Yeah,
as
that's
well,
what I
though.
like. That's what I like. The other one was like, served with like, beef, and this is like, have it with like cured meats and grilled mozzarella burgers or strong hard cheeses.
Oh, I'm having sex in my mind at the moment with that. That sounds amazing.
That is the shit.
There's a website called There's a Beer for that. I think it's
Oh,
.org.
really?
But they specifically do pairing suggestions for styles of beers. It's something, obviously being a vegetarian, I couldn't tell you whether or not it goes well with steak, but they've done the research and there's a whole website dedicated to it.
Well, before you talk a little more about Angels and Demons Panama Jack, what will we be enjoying it with this evening, Chris?
I'm thinking this is going on to.
Oh,
This is
yes.
going on to one of the
This is
other
this
nuts
is
I
some
was mentioning earlier.
heavyweight crispage. It's getting its own bowl. It's not even crispage, but
I've never had them.
Marmite cashews.
yeah, this was my suggestion last time on it. I'm so glad you decided to bring them along.
Mate. These are game changers. in
Yeah.
the- in the
Also
bar
see
snack interest.
Marmite rice cakes as well.
Oh yes.
I've been now.
Yeah.
Well, you're about to meet his cousin.
Oh, well, should we pause for a little bit so we can scoff the lot?
They look good.
Oh God.
I'll let the virgin go for it.
Yeah. Brad, do you want to dive in and have one of these, mate, as well? Because you're gonna.
Yeah, I am a nut virgin. Can you
Nut virgin
Oh,
or Marmite nut?
Marmite nut virgin?
Holy shit.
It's a game changer, isn't it? You will get the dirtiest fingers, though. You know, like Twiglet fingers.
I was about to say that is like a nut twiglet
Mate,
kind of
forgotten how good they are.
fuck fest. Yeah.
Have we even said what they are yet?
Yeah,
Oh.
Marmite coated cashews. And they
Available
are.
from most supermarkets.
Yes, they are
Holy
beauts.
shit.
They are absolutely beauts. And they don't do too bad with this ale either, do they?
No, good choice.
They go all right.
Oh man, that is really good. We are literally just scoffing and drinking. I'm trying to record a podcast.
We'll put some special effects over this bit.
Some explosions.
We'll put a scene from another movie in it. Maybe from Sexy Beast.
Basic instinct.
So I want to know. So you drink beer a lot?
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting you to stand up and say, "Hi, I'm
Yeah,
Charles. I'm an alcoholic."
Yeah. No, about 6 pints a day. No. I think I was saying earlier.
Right. So let me break it down. Right. I don't mean to interrupt you there, but like, so for instance, Friday night, your girlfriend comes over, and you think, right, I've got 4 or 5 nice beers. Let's have some beers.
Yeah.
So
If they're in there, yeah. I mean, girlfriend's really into pale ales as well, so we can.
So what's the
appreciate
setup?
it.
How do you appreciate your beer? What is your evening in with lager?
Lager. To be
Sorry,
honest,
sorry,
If
beer.
I'm
Sorry.
drinking a lager, I will just get something like a Foster's or something cheap.
Sorry.
But yeah, I don't know. Don't really have one. It depends on what's in the cupboard because quite often I'll only get 1 or 2 beers. In which case I'll drink them while I'm doing like invoices in the evening or something like that. That's if I'm drinking craft beer. That's normally how I do it. So whereas like you two might get in, or you definitely will get in. You sit down and you'll have a glass of wine. I'll maybe have a couple of strong beers and it'll be
Do
about the
you
same.
snack with it?
No, I'm not a big snacker. I think there's enough weight going on with the beer, so start piling away some crisps as well. I'm into shaky territory.
What about you, Glasson?
Don't really drink at home. I really don't. I enjoy drinking with friends socially, and I get pissed because I enjoy the taste of booze. Really, I like it all. I think I started when I was younger. Dad got me into strange things like bitters and milds. When my friends were drinking things like White Lightning, and so like this whole like the craft ale, the IPAs, when that started becoming a bit zeitgeist and a bit flavour of the month, my luck was in because I've been drinking it for years, and it all just went another level. what I was drinking back in the day compared to the beautiful things you've brought here today, Charles, is a whole different kettle of fish. So I'm in my element. But I don't rarely drink at home. I don't smoke anymore. I might have the odd joint, and I mean the odd joint, and that's it. And,
Okay.
but yeah, Sundays would be a great day for a craft ale down the pub with a roast dinner or something like that. Yeah, love it.
Really boring answer, Chris.
Thanks.
I think craft beers really lend themselves to the socialising thing. Like this, we'll chatter around. Everyone's got a common language for beer. There's none of this like, oh, this one's got floral notes or blah blah blah. Like all of us have just gone, I like that, or nah, that's not a bit of me.
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
last one that was very apparent. There's a bit more of a mix of beers on that one, wasn't there? And it was. You don't need to go in hard on all this flamboyant terminology.
Yeah.
It's just nice, or it's not, or it tastes a bit chocolatey, but
Yeah.
it's not. Let's try and keep it nice and of the people.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
I don't know big words anyway,
Yeah.
Charles, so I would struggle.
What about you? You're a wine drinker, aren't you, predominantly?
Yeah. Wine and whiskey. Yeah.
Yeah. Not in my market. Not a money maker.
No. I've been to a few distilleries when I've been out and about in the mountains, and generally in Scotland. I'll try and go
Whiskey
to-
distilleries.
and I love it. Absolutely love it. And
It's the same sort of culture, though, isn't it? With
yeah,
the
I'm
tasting.
not an expert at all, and I don't spend loads of money on whiskey, and I don't spend loads of money on wine.
But that's what I like about craft beer at the moment is we're pre lots of money kind of territory.
Yeah.
Right? There's none of this whiskey, wine, pomp and stuff about it. You can just go down, like the London breweries all have tap rooms, and you can just go there and try all the beers you want. And you and your mates will be able to chat about them all day.
Yeah.
And some of them are like 7%, so you have a few of them.
Yeah, you
and
go easy. As soon as you get outside, you know it, don't you?
yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, well,
Shall we
how are
hit
you
number
getting
one?
on? Shall we?
I mean, I've
All right.
zipped that down.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Be quite well timed as well, wouldn't it?
Oh, look at this.
Oh, look at that. We are doing well for time, aren't we? We're being professional again.
It's scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, if this is better than the last one,
I think it is. And if you like
I'm going to eat my own arms.
if you like
Really?
that last one, you're going to like this one as well.
How many snacks you got left, Chris?
He's got quite a big bag.
Loads.
Right, okay, so I want to bring one to the table for numero uno, and I'll let you bring one as well.
I'll let you bring one.
What we're gonna have a snack off?
Mine,
Your snack off's gonna win because I've prematurely ejaculated
Oh, okay.
and I don't
banana.
have any other snacks.
Oh, right, okay.
Can I pull one out of the bag?
Go on, you bring one to the table.
Yeah, I've already had one of these.
Thank you very much.
Do you want to try a bit of that bread?
Oh, thank you very much.
It's all right.
No, it's all on you because all these other ones, they're gonna kill Charles to have them.
That's all right. All my parents all eat meat, so I'm a girlfriend, so I'm fairly used to having to put up with it.
Right, well,
I'll have the salad.
I'm going to go for a holiday crisp.
Oh,
Now, this you rarely see in the UK. And I was out the other day and I see it and I was like, holy shit.
was you in the UK?
And I was in Venezuela and no, but I was in a shop near where I live and I just thought, holy shit, holiday crisps.
Got to get stuck into those.
and,
Holiday crisps.
and they're the absolute shit.
They're like unicorns.
Now they're called curly, and they are basically a what's it, but peanut flavour. I've only ever had these clearly on holiday,
Yeah.
and I see them, and I got super excited. And I tell you what,
I'm quite looking forward to this.
Oh, they're good.
it is the
Yes,
shit.
go on.
Get involved. Get involved. They're game changers,
Yeah,
mate.
they are really good. They're not, I don't, no God.
They're weird.
I know.
A peanutty, what's it?
Yeah, a knots it.
They're not.
Oh man.
They're good.
my
What do you
my
think,
brain
Phil?
doesn't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
They're like, they should be orangey and
Yeah. Soak it in. Soak it in.
It is good. and they get better with time.
Yeah.
A bit like fine wines.
Yeah.
They're strange.
Solid choice, mate.
I like them.
Charles hasn't been won over. He's not quite sure what to do with them yet.
I'll definitely buy them again. My brain needs to it's got
Take
two
its time.
things that have for a long time been very separate.
Yeah.
Peanuts and Wotsits.
Yeah.
And you've just slammed them together, and my brain's struggling at the moment.
Just how I roll.
Yeah,
Oh, they're good, mate.
game changer.
Yeah, no, I think they're good. They are.
Bring something else to the
holiday
table
crisp,
quickly,
mate.
Chris. Come on.
All right.
We've got two bowls here.
He's nursing that beer at the moment.
Have you smelled it?
I've not eaten. I mean, no, not yet.
Smell it and taste it.
It smells meaty.
I'm gonna go crazy. I like a pork scratching,
All right.
and then I saw these jalapeno pork crunch.
That excites me.
These fuckers are. So, are you a pork scratching man? Do you do it? We go because these aren't as bad because they don't have all the fat on them.
Whenever I go to the
Is
pub,
that even a pork? It just looked like a puff. Is it actually a real animal?
I don't think that's very porky.
I think it's just fake animal in it.
Oh, it's not real.
Yeah.
Let me get some real animal on
Oh,
the table.
bloody hell. Yeah, no, it's. I don't think so. Oh no, pork rind.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's the first ingredient. Always skip
My,
past the first ingredient.
Oh,
They are good.
Bring it out.
That's a
bring it
real
out,
bit of
bring
pub
it out.
food. Well, only you
My,
can have that.
My dog, whenever I take my dog up the pub, my dog has a bag of pork scratchings. He loves them. Brad, you're a vegetarian, aren't you?
I am.
I can't eat that. Oh, looks like a little dog's lipstick. That. Okay.
Red bucket, Sparky.
You need to, perfect pairings for this drink, I think, actually.
Okay. What, with the Snacking Tsunami?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about the beer, buddy.
Taste it first. Taste and
Okay,
smell.
okay, cheers, gang. Thank you, Charles, for joining us on
It's
this
all right.
lovely
Thank you
day.
for having me again.
Thank you very much. Oh my god, I haven't even put that in my mouth. That smells amazing.
I'm not being horrible, Smoky Wood boy.
I know.
smoky.
Yeah, it's meant to be.
It
yeah.
smells smoky.
It's got German smoked malt in it.
Got me that.
Oh, what the fuck?
That's incredible.
Do you want a bit more?
Just a touch.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Again.
Jesus Christ.
What is the name of this brewery?
I don't know how you pronounce it, and I don't even know
It's
how you
spelled
pronounce the beer.
Boutillers.
Yeah.
Boutillers.
Boutillers, yeah.
And it's called Arauche beer, which is Rauchbier. Probably not done that justice.
I think he takes a lot of inspiration from Germany, so it'd probably be a Rauch beer.
Sorry, that
okay.
is exactly what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, German smoked malt. German. That is.
Something else, isn't it?
What a
It's
way
a
to
really-
end.
It's 6.1%,
that's-
but
Because the last one, it was just pull them out, they're all good. This one was a real,
That-
They've got another one, I mentioned it earlier, a smoked stout, which has that same earthiness with a stout, but I thought this one's a bit more, like everybody can enjoy
it's
this
got
one.
a crazy
Oh,
taste.
man. There's some whiskies that are very peaty, aren't they? And as soon as you get them near your nose, that you can smell them.
I'm not a
And-
fan of a peaty whiskey.
I'm not a great fan of it, but the smell's quite distinctive, isn't it? And this almost feels like the peaty, but smoky version of that for beer. That is unbelievable.
That's one of the
smells so good.
that's one of the nicest drinks I've ever drunk.
These guys
Oh my god.
are really, really, really cool as well. They just so warm and welcoming, like good to chat to. Went there, they just
And where was it?
it is. Oh, actually, I think I've got it here. They've got a. There it is. It's their brewery is right next to like a fine foods farm shop. It's called McNade Fine Foods. So you can go down there. There's all sorts of cured meats and all that sort of thing. And then they've got a brewery just on the side as well.
man.
So
I'll
it
tell
really
you what.
is
I know
like
you're a veggie, but
Yeah, I can
if
imagine
you do
that would
like
taste very nice.
cured meats, that beer. Oh man,
It's
that's,
a win. It's not bad with one of these snacking salami. It's good.
So this, I've just noticed that. I don't know if it's got it on this one. It's got the batch number on it as well, which is cool. I like all of that. 400.
that is an amazing beer.
And so do you reckon that's the brewing process back on the bottle again?
Yeah. That's
Look at that. That's
yeah,
bloody brilliant.
I know it's cool, isn't it? This one's like quite top heavy, but
Where can you get that apart from next to the farm shop?
I'll do some research and find out. I'll put it in the blog post so
Okay.
people can find it. But they have got a few in shops. Some bourbon. But yeah, they're like proper. They're like the breweries that we found up in London.
It's a meaty beer. That makes no sense.
Really collaborative. They really really go in for the helping people out. So they're big on if there's any new breweries starting up in Kent, they're more than happy to help you out with inspiration. They're fairly new on the scene themselves. So they've got a lot going on there. I was going to bring something that's called a Kolsch. I'm not really sure what that is, but it's just a really nice lager. I'm not really sure what the difference is, but they've already won awards. They're doing really good things. Like that's why I brought this one along.
Yep.
Because it's a good saison.
Yep.
Their smoked stout was amazing. I've got a rye pale ale. They're a bit funny rye pale ales, but it was a good rye pale ale. Like all of them, hands down, straight up. These are the ones. I think these guys doing a smoked collaboration with 1 Mile End would.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We will be
That'd
heading
be
there, won't
pretty
we?
Balls out that
Bring
one.
those two together like a Sesame Street word.
Blood orange infused smoked porter or something. That
Oh,
would be...
Blood Orange was my favourite, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went up there the other day actually. 1 Mile End is probably one of the best breweries in terms of doing random things in London. They've got an 10.5% imperial stout that's been aged for 6 months in freshly drained oak barrels, oak bourbon barrels. It is
Wow.
fucking amazing.
The bourbon barrels, because I never realised that a lot of whiskey gets its colour from the barrels, doesn't it? And the
Yeah,
barrels
the oak,
are red wine barrels, aren't they?
they're red wine
That have
barrels?
been imported, so the colour comes from that.
I didn't know that. I thought it was
didn't
just
know
from the
that.
woods.
No, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Special beer, that one, isn't it?
Yes, it's
I
spectacular.
almost wanted to keep that in the fridge for when I get back. But,
Yeah.
Mate, thank you so much.
Yeah,
for
cheers,
doing
buddy.
That was one hell of a beer to end.
there you go, Brad.
So Stu, out of all the beers we've tried,
Yeah.
how would you order them? Can you order them in the top 5 as a little twist?
Should we get all of the bottles on there?
Yeah, let's get them all out, all the cans.
It's a shame we can't get the camera down for it.
I can.
See them? Yeah? Mm-hmm. Crap in the way. Okay, should we line them up so they're facing
what I'm thinking.
that? Yeah.
There we go.
Great minds and all that.
Yeah, that was.
It's quite a good little array there, isn't it?
Go on then, mate. What comes in at number 5 for you after this fantastic presentation?
I will put Black Cat at the bottom.
Okay.
Not that I dislike it. And I will, working backwards, the last one I will put first.
That one.
Yep, that's my favourite.
Yeah.
Oyster Stout I will put second. Then I will go.
Wasn't even a contender, but there we go.
Yeah,
Snuck
no,
its
that's
way
crazy,
in.
isn't it?
And then I will
Snuck his
put
way in.
Panama Jazz.
Yeah.
And then I'll put that one.
Poor old. I mean, right. Time and Tide hasn't had a look. Time and Tide hasn't had a look in there,
Yeah.
but they do some really
Yeah.
like that. In terms of breweries, Time and Tide for me would be right up there with.
you know what?
Boutilia's.
I'm not dissing any of them
No,
because they
obviously,
were all
yeah.
cracking. But
It's just a shame because they've got a lot more to offer than that
Yeah.
pale ale. It's a good pale ale, but it's not.
Well, that would still
Groundbreaking.
make my top 5.
okay.
But-
What wouldn't?
It does eke out the red ale.
Oh really?
And I like red ale.
So where would
Yeah.
you? So how would you put them?
I would be tempted. I'm going to have to give it for the original, all the work that's gone into that. That's number 1.
That was the smoked one that we
That
had last.
was
one.
Yeah,
Just doesn't
smoked
taste like anything else.
No,
It's really unique straight away.
That oyster
it's
stout.
drinkable as well because their stout is like a stronger version of that.
Yeah.
But it's not a crowd pleaser. Whereas I think that you could put on tap and people would quite happily
Yeah.
drink that in a couple of them in an evening. Anyway,
Loved
I
it.
agree.
Loved it.
It's a toss-up between these two.
Yeah.
I'm going to go like that.
Right,
I'm gonna
well,
say that's
what you
my
got to do,
number 3.
Chris, what you got to do is you've got to actually talk
Use
about
words.
the ones because people can't see what you're doing. Fuck's sake.
So that was a Guinness, that one.
Right.
Right, okay. So I'm going for the Sprat Waffler Pale Ale
Time and
as my
Tide.
number, Time and Tide, number 3. Because I thought that citrus was nice. It was refreshing.
Yeah.
For me, it's a session pale ale. I could drink that till the cows come home and
The
just
terminology.
yeah.
No, it is actually
I'd
3.7.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I'm not insane, and then it would be the again the butcher for that to have come. Yeah, and that is almost equal, even Stevens there. And then
The VPA.
yeah, the VPA, the Vincent Price Ale, which is still it's cracking. It's just that went up against two absolute cracking stouts there. And it's tough because they're all solid. That is not a bad beer. The old Panama Jazz. It really isn't. It isn't a bad stout, but it can't. Those two are so strong.
Brad, what was your favourite?
That smoky thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck me. That's 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
All four of us.
Yeah, I'd do that as well. I'm not a massive fan of the stout. It's not strong enough for me. That's all.
Fair dues.
But other than that, I'd go pretty much the same as you. VPA followed by the Bottilier's Saison, Time and Tide. What's that one? Angels and Demons Brewery. And then the Bottilier's again at the end. So Bottilier's have done quite well there.
They've
Got
really
an
smashed
extra
it, mate.
looking.
They really have.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually, if it was here, the G2 Brewing would probably take the place of Time and Tide. Sorry, G2, you've not got much of a look in than this
Do you know
one.
what?
The Phantom beer.
And it
Next
sounds
time,
cheesy,
next
like we're not trying to be mean about anything, but every beer that we've drunk tonight has been really lush.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Been
Yeah.
hand selected painstakingly over 2 days worth of solid
Absolutely.
drinking.
and you know, there's a lot to be enjoyed in Kent. So
But there's I mean, Kent's all right. We've got good water in Kent, but there's a hell of a lot going on in London. If you're based in London or the outskirts, listen to this. Like, just type in brewery near me, and anywhere in London, you'll have about 3 or 4 within walking distance.
or send us the names for the best name you can think of for a hardcore listing beer, and we will pick a winner, and you and your mate will, or two.
See how we feel.
And Charles from lovebeer.co.uk and Chris and I and Brad will be filming, and 76 will be there dealing with the audio, and we're going to do a microbrewery pub crawl, craft beer crawl, whatever you'd call it.
Yes.
And we'll go around all the breweries in London that Charles recommends, and we will sample their finest beers, have some fun, and record it all. And
So watch out, London.
yeah, and we'll have a fucking blast.
Oh,
like, and then you can watch it, and yeah, we'll take a little gang, and we'll have a proper day out.
For
Yeah?
sure, man. And I think that's a good way to end it.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you, Charles, because
Mate.
again, you've
It's
knocked
all
it
right.
out of
Thank
the
you
park,
for having
mate.
me.
It's been amazing.
We've drunk some really nice stuff. Quickly, favourite snack so far?
It's got to be the Marmite cashews.
Put it there, brother.
Yeah.
Is that yours?
Yeah, man.
I really like these though. I've still not got my head around them.
The
But I
peanut
could-
what's it?
Could eat myself again. Yeah, the peanut
Yeah.
what's it? Yeah, I could see myself eating that again. I did also like those scampi ones.
They were quite weird, weren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm going to just stick with a Walker's Sweet Chili Sensation. It's just as an easy go-to crisp.
It's a solid choice, man.
It's an
There's
old friend.
There's no joking about
Yeah,
it.
They
yeah.
just remind me of smoking in parks and getting the nearest munchies you can.
A sweet. Do you know what? All of these, a lot of these higher end snacks that you've bought
I
tonight,
can't do it anymore, man. That period of my life is gone.
a lot of these high end snacks that you've bought tonight, Chris, I think like they're all right. They want to be your mate, but I think the minute like you know there's a newer flavour in their gang, they'll fuck you off.
Yeah.
Like whereas the Walker Sensation, it's an old friend. You know, he's there with you. You
Bit
know,
slow.
He's your go-to crisp. Like he's got your back, and like someone might go, "Oh right, let's just why don't we just suggest like I don't know a hot peppercorn and mozzarella, and I think he'd just be like, fuck off. And I think he'd just fuck you off, and he'd be like, Chris, Stu, it's all right, I'm here. And it'd be like, you'd have a little sweet chilli sensation of a cuddle, and everything would be all right. Thanks for listening.
Until the next episode of Hardcore Listening. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yes.
Again, thanks, Charles. Thanks, Brad, for filming, mate, again. And thank you, 76, for mastering this bitch.
Thank you very much.
And we'll catch you all next
I'm
week.
Stu Iffin, and thank you to my friend Chris Passion.
Next week, guys.
Peace.
Bye.